Hello, happy Sabbath, my brothers and my sisters. This is Brother West, and this is the day the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad. And I want to continue to help someone along certain lines. You've noticed that my last two messages, one was about wrong thoughts, how many thoughts the enemy will use a hurt from something sensitive, from a hurt, from a scar, and use that scar to speak to you and make you think and make you hear and make you believe things that are not true. And that was one of the recaps of one of my messages of wrong thoughts. A lot of times, many of you in marriages, especially if your marriage is going through hard times, what happens when you're going through hard times and bad times, oftentimes you become super sensitive, where the enemy begin to speak through your ears, through your emotions, where you become justified. Anytime you have voices that accuse, you must realize that that's not God, whether it's accusing you or accusing someone else. And so you just have to know that, because the enemy, he's the accuser of the brother. And you find that in the book of Revelation, the enemy, Satan, he accuse the people of God. And so accusation, and so pointing the finger. That's another thing that the enemy uses, is pointing the finger. But I talked about those wrong thoughts, and a lot of times our thoughts are wrong, and so we have to kill those thoughts, because if not, they will become something. You will create them to be something. The enemy uses our imagination. He uses our imagination to build certain things. That as the scripture said, call those things that be not as though they were. And see, there's power even in our creation, in our sound, in our mouth, just like our Father created. And also we have the same ability to create, to make things. So just like what happened with Adam, and after God had created Adam and all the animals and the creatures of the sea and the field and the sky, God brought Adam to the animals to Adam to see what he would call them. And what he would call them would be in their mouth. It would be so. And so oftentimes the enemy wants you to sanction certain things with your words. You might have a dream, a bad dream. So what? You had a bad dream. That don't mean that dream is true. The scripture says that when you have a dream, tell it as a dream. Oftentimes, the enemy cannot get to us unless we open the door up, and that comes through our mouth. We give him the access. Scripture lets us know that we have power over all the power of the enemy, and nothing by enemies can harm us or hurt us. And so it's a mind battle. It's a mind fight that the enemy tries to use against you, the believer, to trick you and to make you believe a lie. And just like with Psalms 27, it says that David says that though his enemies account against him, his heart will not fear. Though war rise up against him, and this one thing, he will be confident. He will trust God. And one thing that he desired from the Lord, and that will he seek after, and that's to dwell in the house of God. And so in the midst of danger, David's heart wouldn't fear, wouldn't worry about what he saw, because he had counsel and he had comfort and safety with his relationship with God. That's why he said, my word, thine word, O Lord, have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee. And so as a recap of the enemy fighting against your mind and make you believe things not true, to get you to create certain things that are not real. And see, oftentimes you reap what you sow. It's all about sowing and reaping. And so if you're reaping something that's negative, that's painful, that's hurtful, what you must do is sow again. If you're reaping bad stuff, if you're reaping pain, if you're reaping deception, if you're reaping all kind of negative things, sow again. Sow good seeds. When bad seeds are coming up and become harvest, sow again. But this time when you sow, God's going to cause it to come up fast, it to come up good. And so many of you are in a valley of decision where you're reaping certain things that doesn't feel good. All you got to do is weather the storm, because God said his grace is sufficient while you're going through what you're going through, and his strength is made perfect in your weakness. But also sow again. Sow love. If someone's treating you bad, don't treat them bad. Don't respond back treating them bad. Treat them good. Treat them with love. Plant those seeds of foundation, because those seeds is going to come up, because God said he's going to speed it up. He's going to finish the work, and he's going to cut it short in righteousness. And so my command, my statement is, sow again. Sow again. But this time, sow love. When before you complained, before you did certain negative things, this time, do something different. If you want your life to change, you want your pathway to change, if you want your direction to change, you must change. And that first change starts with how you think, what you hear, and how you respond. Is that all right? So again.